Hello, my name is Anthony and welcome to Wash Wednesday. Today we have Z.
That's right.
As in just the letter Z.
Just like Zorro.
All right, we got Z. What kind of car we got, man?
We have a 2008 Audi S5 in ice silver.
Didn't even get to cross.
So the car is dirty. It's an actual dirty car this time around. Not light dust, but it's got dirt, it's got bug guts on the front of it. So today we're gonna be performing another rinseless wash, but there's a twist on it. We're gonna be doing a rinseless wash with wash and wax, which means we're gonna be using Optimum, no rinse, wash and wax. So a lot of words there, but we're gonna be using that with the 2-bucket wash method. Z, have you used the 2-bucket before?
I have. I actually like to use 3 buckets.
Okay, so you one-up me. All right,
Absolutely.
that's fine. So we're gonna go ahead and use 3 then. We'll use 2 for the paint and we're gonna use 1 specifically for the wheels. All are gonna have Optimum wash and wax in there. Both are wash and rinse bucket. So along with that process, we're gonna be using Eagle Edgeless towels as our wash media. So we're gonna use that to basically wash down the car. We're gonna be using an assortment of our microfiber drying towels as well as our wheel brushes. So are you ready to do it, man?
Absolutely, let's
All
get
right,
to it.
Let's jump to it. All right, so as usual with a rinseless wash, we're gonna be performing a pre-spray before we jump to the wash. So we have our O&R mixed at 256:1, standard dilution. So this is gonna lubricate the surface of the car and allow our Eagle Edgeless to just glide across the surface and pick up all that dirt that's resting on top. So we're gonna start from top to bottom and start rinsing it off. All right, so as usual with a rinseless wash, we want to lubricate the surface and get all the dirt rinsed from top to bottom. So this is gonna allow the dirt to fall off to the side of the car, to the bottom of the car. So after we get done with this, we're gonna be moving on to the wash process. Now, Z, I guess it's time to start talking about the car, man. So this thing is beautiful. It's dirty, but it's beautiful.
It sure is dirty.
So how long have you had it?
I've only had it for about 8 months now. Yeah, only 8 months.
Okay, so still kind of new to you?
Still kind of new to me,
Still
yeah.
in that honeymoon mode or what?
I wouldn't say that. That was 3 months in.
What? Are you a guy that goes through cars a lot
I
or what?
am. I like to change cars usually fairly quick.
Okay.
It lasts about right around this time, 6 to 8 months, and then I kind of get to that part where I'm like, what else is out there?
Yeah, do you just get kind of bored or what's?
Yeah, I kind of get bored, or just the S5 was always my dream, affordable dream car when it came out. So it was one of those things where it's, hey, owned it, check that box off, type of deal.
All right, so what, Ferrari's next or what? what's next?
I was trying to get more humble with like a Lamborghini or something, you know.
Okay.
But
okay,
I mean,
of course. What was I thinking?
right? I mean, come on. No, I think next I'm gonna do something that I've never done, and go with the potentially American muscle. Looking at either a C5 or a C6 Corvette.
Okay,
So
you're sticking with the V8 then.
I would like to stick with a V8, maybe some forced induction down the road, who knows?
Right on, right on. Okay, make sure you're hitting those wheels too. So we're gonna be pre-soaking the wheels with this O&R wash and wax solution as well. Because the beautiful thing about O&R is that it's gonna encapsulate the dirt, even if it's on the wheels, and basically kind of hold that in a bubble. All right, so I'm nearly out, man. How much do you have left?
I have a little bit left.
What? You're not doing your job? I'm out.
I'm not.
I'm spitting fumes out now. So that side, yeah, I'm done over here, man. We're done. So I'd say finish off on the windows and we're gonna move on to the wash process.
All right, let's get her done.
Okay, so we have our buckets with our wash solution as well as our towels. So like I mentioned before, we're gonna be using our Eagle Edgeless. So this is our flagship towel. It's a split microfiber. It's a 70-30 blend. It is actually one of our softest towels we offer, probably top 2. Now, have you ever used any of our microfibers before?
I have
You have,
I
okay,
have.
okay. Which ones have you used?
the waffle weave,
Okay.
and I think I have about 12 of these at home that I
Okay.
like to use as pillows.
Okay, all right, as pillows. All right, right on. You wrap your baby in it or something, right?
I wrap myself in it.
Okay.
They're soft.
So a lot of people don't know this, but these make great rinseless washing towels. So what we do is we're gonna go ahead and soak these into our rinse solution, which we have right here, and just let them swim. The second we get them into the buckets, you can see that they get kind of like a wet cat is probably the best way to describe it. And we're gonna do from top to bottom methodically, as you always should. So let's start at the roof and then work our way down to the side of the doors, the quarter panels, the hood, rear bumper, and then save the side skirts and all the lower portions for last. Does that sound good?
Cool.
All right, let's do it.
All right.
Really great towel for sliding across the surface. And when you're done with that side, Z, what you can do is you can actually flip it over and you have a fresh side to start cleaning with. Awesome. So in case you're trying to work off any like hard bug spots or anything that's kind of stuck onto the paint, you have two sides to flip before you rinse. So awesome. With the 2-bucket wash method, after we're done here with the roof, we're gonna go back into our rinse bucket, release all that dirt in the O&R, then back into our wash bucket and back onto a new panel. So you wanna take it all the way down to the grit guard and kind of just rub it up against it lightly. You don't have to really scrub at it, but as long as you're trying to get any type of ingrained dirt out of the towel, that's gonna be what's best. After the rinse, back into the wash bucket, kind of load it with that O&R wash and wax, squeeze out to the point to where it's not saturated, but still wet. So I am going to work on the hood. Do you want to start here on the door?
I'd love to.
All right, let's do it. All right, man, so I gotta know more about the Audi life, more about the Euro life. You said you had a lot of cars. I'm guessing others were probably some type of Euro car, right?
For this was an A4, also the B8 generation.
Okay.
Same generation as this one?
So that had a turbo? Or a
Yes.
turbo?
No, it had a turbo.
Okay, it had a turbo, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it was the 2.0 turbo. But it was just an A4, so every time I saw an S4 or anything like that, it just
You had that
ate away.
That SMV,
That
right?
SMV just
the
ate
SMV.
away.
All right.
So, just like I said, this was the affordable dream car.
Okay.
And
I'm sure everybody has one of those, right?
yeah,
Everybody
you gotta
has
have your exotic, right? Or something up there.
Something up there, an affordable dream car to where you're like, that's realistic.
Yeah.
I can have that. It's fast. It's cool. I think every car enthusiast has probably made that stepping stone in their car history. You know, going from one car to the next. And I mean, I started out in a Honda Civic. What did you start out in?
I don't want to say that.
No, say what did you start out in? Be honest. Be honest with the guys.
It was a Daewoo. A Daewoo. That's why I didn't want to say it.
I'm sorry. No, that's awesome. And that's not to make anybody feel bad that has a Daewoo. That's great. So it was a Daewoo.
Yes.
So it wasn't fast. Right?
No, it definitely was not fast.
Okay. Your floor wasn't going through the floorboard, was it?
No.
All right.
But so that was.
All right. Oh, I'm gonna get the fender. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'll get the rear.
Get this hood spot really quick. But anyways, okay. Tell us more about the Daewoo.
More about the Daewoo. All right. I think it was a '99, if I remember correctly. Had an awesome exhaust system, and by that I mean it had an eBay fart can on it.
Wait, so
It was my high school car. Don't judge.
you modded a Daewoo?
Of course, I modded a Daewoo.
Mods on it.
It's a sickness. I don't leave anything stock
Okay.
except this thing.
I can understand that. So all right, so you went from a Daewoo, and then where else did you go from there?
Daewoo, and that's when the Volkswagen bug kind of bit. My father gave me his '87 Jetta Volkswagen Coupe.
Okay.
And the Mark II. So it was just a fun car, and just the culture around here.
Kind of had
really
that classic classic V-dub look then.
Exactly.
All right.
And then after that, like I said, started my sickness. Went to a Corrado, the G60. That was next.
Okay.
After the Corrado, had an R32, not the Skyline R32.
Oh,
I wish that was.
I'm still excited to hear that, but I got really excited. I was like, I don't think that was possible at that time, at least here in the States.
No.
So the R32, so you had...
Yes, it was the Volkswagen R32 Golf.
Yeah.
So it was the 3.2 V6 all-wheel drive. Really fun car. And to this day, I want to say still one of my favorites, actually.
Okay.
Close second to this, absolutely.
I'm guessing you had some mods on that. And if you modded the Daewoo, I'm guessing you had the R32
man.
modded as
the
well.
R32, that was a whole nother level of. I pretty much had everything done that you'd see most VW guys do. Full Miltech exhaust system, VF engine mounts. I can't even think anymore what it all was. Raider work wheels that were staggered. Had a 19 by 10 in the back with a 19 by 9 up front. Oh, so wow. Just really giving them that typical Euro stance.
Well, it was the stance before the stance, right?
Yeah, exactly. It was
Before the
before the
stance,
camber and all that stuff.
before the camera, okay, before the form over function, right? Not saying that's a bad thing.
No.
You had that done. What's done to this?
This thing is fairly stock. Besides the Vossen wheels, the wrapped roof, that's it. That's it.
So you're preparing then. You're preparing it for more mods.
Like I said, it might not stick around for long.
Might not stick around for long enough
So
because
I
you're
think I'm
wanting
gonna
that
save my money.
Corvette fever, right? He got
So,
bit by the Corvette bug. That American muscle.
That American muscle fever. Who knows? Maybe I'll hate the Corvette and just end up buying another S5. I'm not gonna lie, it came down to a silver C6 or this thing when I was car shopping after the A5.
Okay.
And
So same price range, just
yeah,
about.
about the same price range. Actually, the C6 was a little bit cheaper than this.
Okay.
But for some reason, like I said, this was on the docket to buy as an affordable car.
Well, because you're getting luxury
Yeah.
with this versus a Corvette, you're getting that motor, right?
getting that motor, but that interior, man,
You can't do it.
I couldn't do it at the time. I couldn't do it.
Yeah, I think that with the new C7s, man, I think
Oh,
the
man.
interior they really beefed that up and it looks awesome.
American
But-
car makers just stepped up their game in general, not just even Chevy. Even if you look at Ford, the new Mustangs, their interior.
Yeah. So where are you at right now on the wash?
Actually, already got the rear bumper.
What?
Yeah.
You're working way faster than me. That's
Hey.
normally not the case. I'm the professional here, man.
Come on. Have you done anything on this side?
I did do a couple
Slacking
things.
on me.
I didn't get the door. So the door is one thing. I didn't get the windows. I'm
you want me to
sorry.
start
I
the
got,
windows?
I got distracted with your beautiful story about the R32.
You like the R32, I knew it.
I'm a sucker for those cars, man.
Should I start in the windows?
Yeah, start in the windows.
Okay.
I'll knock off this door. I'm gonna knock out the front bumper, and then we'll start the drying process after that. So the Eagle Edgeless, the one thing I do love about this being as our wash media is the fact that it's so easy to manipulate around door handles and everything else. And it's weird because it works as such a good, quote unquote wash mitt. It's able to pick up that dirt. It's able to kind of be flipped around, kind of similar to like a wash mitt. You'd use both sides, but on a towel you have, depending on which way you fold it, you have, 8 surfaces to work with. So get down here at the bottom of the door. It just picks up and it glides across the surface. And this wash and wax, I can't tell you how smooth this feels. Now, the original O&R, the blue stuff, that stuff feels super smooth. It feels great for a rinseless wash, but something about the wash and wax just has a little bit of a smoother feel. So I can imagine how great it would be for using as a clay bar lubricant, and then doing your final dry after that's done. So not only is your car protected, but you have your car clayed and ready to go for the road. All right, so we finished with the wash process. Now it's time to dry. But I did want to show you guys real quick a look at this water. So these water buckets, as you can see, are extremely dirty. Our rinse bucket is probably the dirtiest. Our wash bucket is still less dirty than this one, but both have grit guards in them and both have the O&R wash and wax. Now, these were green to start and now they're looking brown. So it just shows how much dirt these towels and this combination actually pulled off the car. So the next step is the drying process. So we're gonna go ahead and grab our new drying towels and we're gonna get started on that. All right, so I know you said you like the waffle weave towel, right?
Love it.
All right, I hate to disappoint you, but we're not using a waffle weave today. We're actually gonna be using our new twist pile weave microfiber towel. Now, this is kind of the new big thing in the microfiber world. It's a twist weave pile, which means it's extremely absorbent. The same absorbency that you would get from a waffle weave, it just has a different feel. Now, here's yours.
Thank
Now
you.
here's mine. So we got a little bit of a twist on our normal drying process. We've typically only used one towel to dry the entire car, meaning I have a towel and you have a towel, but we're gonna throw in another towel into the mix. So this is our green glass towel. So we're gonna save this little guy. As you can see, it's not huge. We're gonna save this specifically for the paint work, and we're gonna save our green glass towel specifically for the glass. So as usual, I'm gonna start from the top and work my way to the bottom. I'll have you start on the passenger side, and I'm gonna start on the driver's side, right?
Let's get to
Do
it.
it. So I like to fold mine into fourths. That's my favorite thing to do. And basically, just start drying. And like all of our other towels, we have 2 sides to work with. So after we're done with one side, I'll flip it over to the other side and do my final buff. Now this twist pile is, like I said, it's like the new big thing in the microfiber realm. 2 towels at this size is all you're gonna need for a car of this size. Like I said, we're saving the glass towels just for the glass. So, oh, and this is glass.
This is glass.
Oh, I just messed up my own video. I used but hey, you know what? Works amazing on glass, as you can see, crystal clear. This makes a great glass towel, which I probably should have mentioned to begin with, but as a drying towel, it's still awesome. All right, Z, so what are your thoughts so far, man? Compared to the waffle weave, what are you thinking?
I'm actually kind of surprised, I'm not gonna lie.
Really? In a good way or
in a
bad
good,
way?
definitely in a good, no, in a good way.
Don't scare me like that, man.
The waffle weave is a lot bigger, but this thing is keeping up. It's doing a good job drying.
It picks up. It's kind of like I say, it's like a waffle weave is typically like the gift that keeps on giving, but I was so surprised when I tried this out on paintwork because it was, like I said, just as absorbent, if not more absorbent than the waffle weave, which has been kind of the king of the hill for the longest time now. But as usual, I'm able to kind of contour between the door handles with this towel and flip it over when I need another dry surface. All right, man, so I gotta know, so what are you currently doing to wash the car? Because in this light, I'm not seeing any swirl marks. Because you said you did the 3-bucket wash method, but what are some of the products you like using?
I've actually used McGuire's for the most part.
Okay, yeah.
But I do have the original ONR, so I might have to switch to this after today.
You noticing kind of like a difference between the two? Like I think it's smoother in my opinion.
Absolutely, that's what I've noticed is when we're washing, it just glides a little bit easier than, I'm not saying the original doesn't glide, but this one just a little bit almost silkier.
I mean, realistically, this looks awesome. This is looking really good. Okay, so where are you at? You're on the front bumper?
Front bumper.
All right, I'll finish with the back of the car because it looks like the sides are completely dry. And like I said, we are saving the glass to use with our green glass towel.
And I'm keeping these towels when we're done, right? I'm just gonna throw them in the trunk?
Yeah, just throw them, just
Okay.
keep yours to keep. So, all right, Z, I gotta know, man. So, have you ever tracked this car? Any autocross done or anything like that?
No.
No? Nothing? You baby it or how do you typically
I wouldn't want to
drive?
say baby it.
All right,
People
all
say
right.
you're supposed to get on it for carbon buildup, which is common for these cars.
Yeah.
So that's my excuse to kind of get on a little bit.
All right, so we're gonna move on to the glass drying process using our green glass towel. What I like to do is, like I said, again, fold it into squares, use one side as my main kind of wipe, and then use my second side as my buff.
Cool.
So these towels freakishly, I mean, they get that spotless finish. I mean, they do have a slight bit of grab to them, but it kind of just shows its cleaning power. Because the second you pull it away, it's a streak-free finish, and I can't see any imperfections in the glass once I'm done with one of these towels.
That is pretty cool.
So we're gonna keep using that ONR lubricity, the wash and wax, which is, I mean, basically a great glass cleaner. It can be used on any surface, vinyl, plastics, windows, trim, everything. Don't forget to hit your mirrors too. Don't get lazy over there. Hit your mirrors.
I got him.
Or you beat me to it.
You
I'm sorry.
gotta catch up, man.
I'm sorry. I'm taking my
Slacking on
time
me.
over here.
I see that.
It's been a long day, man. I need
It
some
has.
food in me or something. So yeah, these bug guts are just falling right off this.
I did have quite a few on here.
Yeah. How long had it been since you washed it?
Actually, it's only been about a week, but
Okay. All right. So you did some country driving or something like that?
I mean, yes.
Yes. I mean yes.
But yeah, there was definitely some speed limit driving, keeping it legal.
All right, so we're finishing up with the glass here. I'm gonna be moving on to the wheels. Z has grabbed our wheel bucket with our brushes. So today we're gonna be doing something different. Typically we'll use power clean on the wheels, but these wheels are saturated in brake dust. So this would be a good opportunity to use Ferrex. So Ferrex is an iron decontamination. Basically what it's gonna do is it's going to pull off all of the iron deposits onto the wheel and turn them this really cool purple color. You've probably seen videos of that, on the internet, and there's a few different iron decontamination products out there, but this one is awesome. But keep in mind, it smells terrible, and you're gonna see that firsthand. So it's really easy to use. Typically you wanna use it in an outdoor environment. Luckily we have the doors open in the garage so we don't fume ourselves and knock ourselves out from the smell. So we're gonna go ahead and spray on the Ferrex. Now it's one of those products where you kind of want to let it do the work. You kind of want to let it sit here, and with time, it's going to start getting that purple dye color. Okay, so this is one of those extreme cases where it turns really purple, like really, really purple. Have you used one of these before?
I have not, but I would like to maybe dip the wheels this color. This looks kind of cool.
This looks awesome. Like, I mean, typically on the cars I've cleaned in the past, I've never had this much brake dust build up, but it looks like you got some pretty large calipers there that are releasing a lot of brake dust, and that's a purple wheel right there. So what you can do from this step forward is you can typically start with the brush process. We have this sitting in a tub of O&R mixed with the standard dilution. It's actually our O&R wash and wax. And so we can take this straight to the wheel. You can also do a pre-rinse on the wheel after this has settled. So that's gonna knock down most of those iron deposits. But in this case, I say we jump straight to it with our brushes. So go ahead and get a dip inside there.
All right.
Now, these brushes are extremely soft. They're flag tip nylon brushes. They're not only soft, but they're very green. I always have to say that because, like I said, they're the greenest brushes I've ever seen. And luckily these spokes, man, work really, really well for these. So after a couple of passes, I like to go ahead and dip it back in my bucket again. What do you think about the smell of the wheels?
I'm not a fan of it. No.
Yeah.
Thank God we have these doors open. This will be rough.
I don't think I've ever smelled an iron decontamination product that smelled good. And if it does smell good, then I don't think it works. So as you can see down in our water here, it is it's turning pretty dark right now. So this car may require a couple buckets for this wheel clean.
So what you're saying is I'm the worst example so far.
You're a pretty bad example
All
so
right.
far. I'm sorry,
All right.
but you are. It's the truth. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. So typically we'll use power clean diluted at a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning 3 parts water, 1 part power clean. The Ferrex in this bottle right here is good to go right out of the bottle. You do not need to dilute it. You can use it straight onto the wheel. And it did work, man. I mean, looking at that, I think that looks absolutely awesome.
Looks way better than before.
So I'm gonna go ahead and grab our spray bottle mixed at the standard dilution to kind of rinse it off and get the rest of that Ferrex removed, and then we can start the drying process. But let's knock out the other wheels first before we jump to that.
Let's get it done.
Let's do it. All right, so as you can see, man, this stuff is foaming up a lot. It kind of just shows that visual, it kind of gives you that confirmation that it's working. And what's awesome is you can use it on paint to remove any iron contamination that's on the fenders, for example, the doors. It's safe on clear coat, it's safe on single stage. It's an awesome product. What do you think, man?
I love it, man. Like you said, it gives you that visual where when you bring it on, it's clear, but turns purple to let you know that it's actually doing something. Yeah. Where some of the products that I use that you get from your, local auto parts store, you don't really get that, or you don't know what's in it. Is it just watered down products? So I think I might have to be placing an order tonight for more than just towels.
Sold on the Ferrex.
What have I done? Why did I volunteer for this?
And we're gonna go ahead and spray off the Ferrex. So that's something that you don't wanna leave sit on here. You do wanna rinse it at the very end once you're done. So give it a good rinse. If you have a hose, use a hose. In the studio here, we don't wanna make too much of a mess, so we're gonna be using this little guy. Okay, so the wheels are officially cleaned, and that was tough work, man. Those were covered.
That was pretty bad.
Those were covered in iron. I've never seen a wheel turn completely purple.
Glad I could be your first.
Oh, you got jokes, man. You got jokes. So, all right, we have our drying towels now. So we're gonna dry off the wheel. So we have our 16x16 standard terry.
Cool.
I'm a huge fan of cleaning wheels and drying wheels with a darker towel, just because a darker towel isn't gonna show all that dirt buildup. And I do wash my towels separately, so that's something I always recommend. If you have your wheel towels, your engine bay towels, or anything that's gonna get a lot of dirt, always wash those separately. Keep the good stuff on the paint.
Keep them separated.
Keep them separated, exactly.
Cool.
So if we bend down here, now what I like about this towel, it is a shorter pile terry. So it's still gonna be easy to manipulate, so we can still get into the cracks and crevices of the lug nut recesses. And are these wheels plasti dipped? I noticed a little bit of grab, and I'm like, that's kind of strange. Wait, so they're okay? So that just solved that maybe just answered a question for you guys out there. You can use Ferrex on plasti dip. It will work. It's not going to harm the plasti dip, which is awesome. It's good information. But Yeah, these dry extremely easily. I think the Plasti Dip attributes to that. That was probably the easiest wheel to dry ever in my life. So that's the key. Plasti Dip your wheels and you don't have to dry, right? Essentially.
Or Plasti Dip and make all the brake those stick to it.
or that too. So we're gonna go ahead and knock out the rest of these wheels, get them dry, or I guess drier than they already are, and we'll finish up. Sounds good?
Let's get it done.
Okay, so we are done with the Audi S5. The wheels were definitely some work, but the Ferrex did most of the job.
Absolutely.
Beautiful car, man.
Thanks.
I'm honestly, like, the paint is in such good condition. Like I said, I was so surprised not to see any swirls or anything like that, and I guess that 3-bucket wash method is really paying off, the one-upping me, but dude, it looks awesome. So,
Thanks.
What'd you think?
I think I need to maybe change up or at least add to my routine what I'm doing, because there's times where I just don't feel like getting all those buckets out, filling everything, and spraying everything down with the pressure washer. So it seems like it'll be a lot easier. I mean, we did it inside your guys' shop, so
yeah,
I can do it in my garage as well.
Oh, exactly. And we used the O&R wash and wax, so the car is now protected. So not only was it clean, but it was now protected. It does have that UV protection with that Carnauba wax mixed into the O&R. So out of all the products you used, I guess you like the Ferrex the most, right?
I love that stuff.
All right,
I'm definitely getting that.
Okay,
Absolutely.
okay. And what about the towels? Any particular towel that kind of...
That twist pile definitely did surprise me. I mean, I have 2 of the waffle weaves in my trunk right now.
Okay.
For emergency cases, for car washes. So
all right.
I might have to downsize, not necessarily downgrade, but just downsize, because these guys for half the size did just as good as a waffle weave.
Yeah. So now it's time for the most important question of the day, the most important question of this entire series, of this entire episode, which is, can we go for a ride?
Absolutely. We just got her all clean. Let's go kill some bugs.
All right, let's do it. All right, so we're all buckled up and ready to roll. You ready to do this, man?
Absolutely.
All right, let's go for it. Okay, so we are in the Audi S5 right now. We're on some country back roads. We got a little bit of time, a little bit of sunlight to do a couple pulls here. Yeah, dude, let's do it.
All right. Luckily, we got the roads to ourselves.
Yep, our own private roads. Oh, man. Dude, this thing's got some torque, man. Wow, that V8 though, right? Oh man, this thing, dude, this thing goes, man, that V8. And you wanna trade this in for a Corvette?
I hear American Muscle's pretty awesome.
Dude, I don't know this Euro muscle, man. They're doing things right.
But I mean, we were doing about 15 miles an hour there.
So we were doing about 15 miles an hour.
And that was comfortable though, so that wasn't, to me, that wasn't scary or anything. Where in American Muscle, it kind of gets sketchy.
Yeah.
Mustangs tend to eat people.
Exact crowd killer is what those are, yeah. 15 miles an hour could turn into a bad thing, but what kind of power is it putting down?
I believe, since it's in stock form, it's about 354 horsepower with right around 325
Dude,
torque.
and this is naturally aspirated, so this thing, dude, this thing rips, man. For gosh, that V8, it sounds incredible. Exhaust wise, it's got some mods to it.
I wouldn't necessarily call it a mod.
Okay.
It's the Meineke Special.
The Meineke Special, all right.
It's actually just a muffler delete. And I wanted to test it out. I wanted to try before I went and dropped over $1,200 on performance exhaust. I wanted to see what a muffler delete would sound like, because a lot of mixed reviews on the forums online. So I figured, hey, worst case scenario, I'm gonna lose about $100. It's not that big of a deal. Yeah. I ended up liking it.
Okay. So yeah. No, I think it, like, if you were to tell me that this was a $5,000 exhaust, I'd believe you, because it sounds that good. It really does sound awesome. I'm all about that save that money, right?
Gotta save that money.
Save that money. Awesome handling. I mean, being on that stock suspension. Yeah. But these Vossen wheels seem to really take these turns, being that larger diameter, right? Because they are a larger size.
Yeah. These are 20 by 11, I believe.
25. Okay, wow, dude. So that's a big wheel right there. I'm guessing tires aren't cheap, right?
I just got these. I purchased them from another S5 owner.
Okay.
So all the rash on there, I promise, is not me.
Okay.
I know how to park.
I think that's what everybody says though, right? Everybody puts the blame on the previous owner.
Hey,
typical thing to say for a car enthusiast, but beautiful car, beautiful car. It sounds awesome, and you know, even though, like you said, you're craving that American muscle, you kind of got bit by that the Corvette bug. I think this is a pretty awesome dream car. Like you said, it was your realistic dream car.
Appreciate that.
And you have it. So props to you, man, for making that a reality. And you learned a few things.
Absolutely. A few new techniques, some new products I definitely need to pick up, and loved it. It was a fun experience, and anytime you guys want to wash my car again, I'll be more than happy to drop her off.
Hey, this was a freebie, man. I'm pretty expensive. So we're heading back to the shop, taking these country back roads here. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully you learned a lot. Hopefully you learned some new wash techniques, as well as learned more about this awesome Audi S5. So again, man, I really appreciate you bringing this, and stay tuned for more videos here at the Rag Company, more Wash Wednesdays to come with a lot of cool stuff in the future. So we'll catch you next time.
Getting her wet. Take 3. 1, 2, 3.
So as usual with our rinse. Stop!